Welcome everybody. Obviously Warren on top table first of all, and then we've got the range of assistant coaches doing rotations afterwards. Any questions for Warren at the top table, please?
Warren, lots of back row injuries. It's a good job you've got plenty to choose from there. Tell us about the call-ups of Tom Young and Josh Turnbull.
Josh comes back into the squad, and yeah, we felt there was an opportunity for Thomas to come in the squad given the injuries. Josh Navidi comes back into the team, and we're carrying 7 or 8 players that we're carrying who've got knocks at the moment, and may be available for the sort of second match of the Six Nations. So when we sat down yesterday, we did pick a squad of 40. And then unfortunately Talupio was ruled out late yesterday afternoon, so we reduced that squad to 39. So there's that opportunity. We feel like we're in a good place at the moment, and looking forward to the Six Nations. What's Thomas Young done to convince you again that he's back in then? This is the first time I've actually selected him, so he was in the squad when Rob Howley was in charge, and then on the summer tour. So, he comes in and gets an opportunity like a number of other players. So, hopefully he makes the most of it. You mentioned a few out injured for the opening game. Can you give us any names? Well, just they're all out there in the public at the moment, the guys from the region. So there's a few touch and go, I suppose. Yeah, absolutely, and guys like Adam Beard and stuff with recovering from his neck injury. Who else we got there? Nicky Smith, Leon Brown. Yeah, so guys that we'll monitor over the next few weeks, and hopefully they may be in contention for that first game, if not the second game. So the plan for the Six Nations is that we will use it kind of as a template for the World Cup. So we'll have 31 players with us, keep the 31 players with us. So we go to Paris for that first game, and then down to Nice for a camp. We'll take the 31 players with us before the second game against Italy. So that's hoping that we get familiar with what we're trying to do over the next 8 or 9 months. With the injury to Talupe Faletau, Ross Moriarty's fitness becomes more important. Is there a plan for him to play a league game before the Six Nations? He's recovered. He's one of those players recovering from concussion as well, and we know that Josh Navidi can cover us and has played at 8-2. So I think that it's important that we don't rush him back, and hopefully he starts training, and potentially he will have a game before the Six Nations. News on Dan Bigger, how serious was his injury? He's out for the Six Nations, and oh sorry, not Dan, I thought Dan Lydiard, sorry. Dan Bigger. He's hopefully going to be okay, and that's why again we've gone with the 4 10s with Reece Patchell not being 100% and wanting to have 2 10s at training with Gareth Anscombe and Jared Evans as well. So he's got a medial injury, Dan, but he's a fast healer, and hopefully he might be in contention for that first game. And you said you plan to use it as rehearsal in terms of the 31-man squad. Will you also use the Six Nations as rehearsal in terms of rotating selection voluntarily during the tournament? No, I don't think so. If you look at the draw of the World Cup, I think we'll probably go fully loaded for the first 3 games. I think we've got Uruguay as our last game, so that's probably an opportunity to make some changes, but we'll see how things go. But there's obviously going to be some players who aren't going to be available for that first game against France, so we will make potentially some changes against Italy and give players in the squad an opportunity. But what's important for us is that first game, the opening game against France.
Warren, you named Ian Hock in the squad. What's your assessment of where he is at right now? He's been out for a while.
That's just it. We'll be making an assessment really when he comes in. I spoke to last week in terms of he's delighted to come. He's just had a baby girl, and not him himself but his partner Jess. So look, he just said he's just honoured to be selected and to come back in, and so look, we'll see where he's at. He's been advised to carry on doing his continue training and stuff, and so if he's right, then he'll be in contention. If he's still not right, then we'll have to make potentially some other plans for him.
Just how confident are you this time round, Warren? Obviously, autumn went really well, swept it for the first time. You've won 9 in a row now. You built some nice momentum, it seems.
Yeah, I think, and the whole thing about Six Nations is about momentum. If you can win your first game, first couple of games, then you go in there with a good chance of being in contention at the last weekend, and we've done that on a few occasions, being in contention. So yeah, that first game against France is pretty important for us, and if we can get a win away from home, then I think we'll have a good tournament.
You've obviously picked a lot of players who are coming back to fitness. What's the thinking behind that versus having a fully fit squad at the beginning and then maybe having to change?
No, I think the thinking behind that is that where in the past what we've potentially done is had a smaller squad, early 31, 32, and what we've found now at the moment, we're sort of selecting more players. There's an opportunity for trainings to do a bit more 15 on 15 and train two teams against each other. We've got some real benefits out of that, particularly the last couple of campaigns. So, and we wanted to select more numbers so that they would become fit either in the week leading up to the first game or the second round of the competition, and by selecting more players too, if we do pick up injuries, we probably won't replace them in the squad. We'll just reduce the number in the squad as we did in the autumn.
Warren, what do you want to see from your team in terms of the developing towards the World Cup now? Now we're getting so close to it.
Yeah, well, this is competition time. It was great the autumn, but it wasn't about points. This is about competition. This is what we're going to experience in Japan next year, and so it's about continuing that and fronting up and winning games and playing some good rugby, but also been thinking about the points in it at stake and tournament rugby, and that's what we're going to experience later in the year. So it's important that we're aware of that and we prepare and front up and do our best and hopefully can have a successful Six Nations.
And you clearly think this is a team that's capable of winning the tournament as well. You're not coming here to come second or third. You want to win it then?
I think we've got a great chance. I think if we can win that opening game against France, we've got a really good chance of winning the Six Nations. We've got, and that's going to be our toughest game because we've got two home games in England and Ireland for the last game at home, which is nice, and Scotland away from home are going to be tough. So we feel like we're in as good a position as anybody to do well and win this Six Nations.
Again, just how much more has he got to give as a skipper for you, do you think? Because he's just doesn't seem to stop, does he? He's going from strength to...
Yeah, no, look, there is no doubt that he's playing some great rugby, but I think in fairness to what we've done, what Alan Clark and the Ospreys have done as well, they've been fantastic in managing him and looking after him and not overplaying him, and I think as a result of that, both the Ospreys and Wales are getting the best out of him, and there's no doubt that he's pretty important to us at the moment in terms of his experience, the way that he's the job that he's doing in terms of captain and leading the team is fantastic in the autumn, and he's a very important part of our team and the squad, and very essential for us over the next few months.
Ken Owen's performances at number 8, did they interest you at all in terms of makeup of your Rugby World Cup squad?
No. No, not at all. So he did a great job, and good hookers should be able to go in and play in the back row at some stage, and we have. It's not a position I think we'll try and cover for the World Cup, because we have got so much strength and depth in the back row, but it's definitely been a conversation we've had about other positions, about, do you only take 2 9s to the World Cup, do you take 2 10s to the World Cup? We've taken 5 props before, so we've taken only 2 hookers in the past, so there has to be, when you're picking a squad of 31, there potentially is a compromise in some position where you do leave yourself a little bit exposed, and we're continuing to have those discussions going forward.
Would you be, are you considering employing the bulk of Corey Hill in the back row campaign now you're without Gideon?
It's a potential for us, yeah. And it's something we have spoken about, whether we do play him, and it's great that he's been getting a few games for the Dragons in the back row and getting some exposure there. And we've tried Seb Davis there as well. Particularly when you are missing players like Dan Lydiard and Aaron Shingler, Faletau being out as well, which are pretty good line-out options. So it's just getting that that back row balance right, and he is potentially a consideration for us.
Warren, at the end of the autumn, you said slightly tongue-in-cheek that you hoped that everyone would talk up Ireland and England, even though you've won a fair amount of games. Are you still of that view now?
I mean, look, you can't deny what Ireland have done and achieved, and there's a lot of positivity coming out of Ireland and a lot of confidence. And there's no doubt that their provincial teams are doing well, Leinster and Munster, particularly in Europe, and our teams haven't been so good, which is a little bit disappointing. But from an Irish perspective, they should be talking themselves up and being confident about what they're going to achieve. But it'd be interesting to see what happens to us when the players do come in terms of that self-belief and confidence, and if we can continue that sort of run that we've been going on, and hopefully we're able to do that.
Thank you very much, everybody. Broadcasters, if you want to set